leadership. She's also receiving an award because of how she gained her name, Mamata. We all know she's been doing a lot of community service under the banner of Adopt the Light. So today, many years later, we appreciate what you did. Let's give it up for our chief guest, Mama County, and thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you.
Good evening. Long afternoon, huh? Happy Mother's Day. Okay, the first thing I want to say is thank you very much, Light Academy. Thank you to all the organizers, the parents, the students, the headmaster, the teachers, for putting this together. For a school to actually celebrate Mother's Day and honor mothers, for me it's a plus. Because the children from this school are going to appreciate their mothers even more. This is the 4th year, and I'm very, very happy to be part of this event. Now, when it comes to me as a mother, let me start with my grandmother, my late grandmother. Every mother instills something in you. My late grandmother instilled the importance of a woman owning a home, so that she never ever has to be thrown out of her house. She was not educated, but she managed to fight very hard to buy a small home, and she stayed in that home until I moved her to a bigger home. But she made us all understand that as women, try as much as possible to own a home. As a NAIROBI woman representative, it's going to be part of my agenda, not through the affirmative action, the government has a housing plan, but to unite Kenyans together so that we can actually ensure that every woman that lives in the informal settlements ends up owning a home. Now, then of course you've got my mother. My mother was a housewife, and she depended for her money for my dad. And sometimes he will pay, sometimes he wouldn't. He was the breadwinner. One day, the mothers of that company, the wives, got together, had a meeting, and decided to put the men down and to say, listen, we're housewives, but we can't be asking you for money even for our sanitary towels. So what we want is we want a salary. It was a company that my father and a few other people owned, and we were directors. So my mother ended up getting on the payroll and being put in the salary. So for me, that was an empowerment for her. She did do a lot of work, raising 5 children. So even if you're a housewife, you deserve to be given a certain amount of money every month to run your home. Not to go and ask, give me another 20 bob, I go and buy bread. If you're a housewife, and every housewife out there, you're doing a job, and the men should pay you that amount to run the home. Okay? Now, I want to tell you something. Though my father was a director and he owned a company, when he finally sold his company and the shilling got devalued, he lost a lot of money. But my mother had a saving culture. Today, my mother has in her bank account, from that little allowance that she used to get, more money than my father. So it is important to save. And she took what her grandmother told her, what her mother told her, who is my grandmother, and she ensured that she has a home. So she also owns a home. Now you come to me, the daughter. I knew I did not want to depend on a man for money. I knew I had to become somebody who earns her own money and has her own money. And today, I also own a home. And I hope that my children will also do the same, especially my daughter. It is so important for a woman to own a home, because then looking for the food is easy. but the homes are getting more and more expensive, and as you get older, so if you can, if you're in a rental, try and make a plan to buy a home. Even if it means cutting your expenses, buying less clothes, going to the salon less, cutting a bit on with the luxury food, kule nyama mara moja kwa wiki, but you own a home. Even if it's a small home, it will be your home. Now, when it comes to Adopt a Light, I became an entrepreneur with Adopt a Light, again looking for financial independence. Of course, when I got married to my husband, he was very, very wealthy, and he said to my father, I don't want this one working. So I sold my company. But marriages sometimes can have problems. So when the problems came into the marriage, I knew one thing: I need to get back to earning money and having my own income. So I left my son, who was at that time 9 months. I flew to South Africa looking for opportunity. I saw my sister, Beatrice Alachi, here saying, travel. You can only learn by traveling. Even if you travel in Kenya, in East Africa, but to travel, you need that holiday. Okay? You need that holiday. So I traveled to South Africa looking for opportunities to start a new enterprise. Because the enterprise that I had, the tailoring company, I had already sold it. On my way to the airport, you know, when you pray and you ask God for something, He gives it to you. When you plant a seed and you water it, it will grow. What you think, you become what you think. Okay? Thoughts become things. So what happened is I was driving on my way to the airport at about 10 o'clock at night to go to South Africa. I see the streets are very, very dark. And I see this big, massive sign saying, don't stop, danger. So I think, what if my car breaks down? 3-hour flight to South Africa, or 4-hour flight. I reached Johannesburg when it was still dark. And I noticed this city is lit. So I wondered, why did Kenya and Nairobi not have lights? I came in, I partnered with the Nairobi City Council. We brought the lights. I got the name Mama Tam. I campaigned under the name Mama Tam Tani. I lost the contract. Why did I lose the contract? Because the people in the county government were not interested in the lights. They were more interested in making money from the project. And that was one thing I did not tolerate: corruption. The second thing is I was a woman. I remember the late Mwenje standing up in Parliament and saying, I counted the lights, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. This woman will make so much money until Jesus Christ comes. So they fought the project. They took the project. But you know something? I'm a social entrepreneur. When I go around the city, when I go around the country, I know that I brought the first lighting tower. And today the government has spent billions of shillings lighting up Kenya. And Kenya is actually visible on the satellite map. And many women are safe because there is lighting. Many open spaces are safe. Women can trade in Kibra, Madare, Korogocho into the night. For me, that is a given and it's a plus. It doesn't have to make you money. When you do social good, the reward that you get from up above is worth all the billions that we have on this earth. So I'm absolutely thrilled that I can say I brought the first light into Kenya 40 years after independence. Nobody ever thought of lighting the townships. And today, many, many people are earning an income from the Adopt a Light concept. And that to me is a plus. I went into politics because I could not understand corruption. I still don't understand corruption. And we've got a very big challenge ahead of us as people, as citizens, as mothers, as fathers, to ensure that we really stop corruption in Kenya. It's happening at the top, and we feel it's okay to happen at our level. Corruption is bleeding this country. And every other headline that we see, it's becoming normal. I want to tell you, when I was about 20, 21, and I was traveling in and out of the UK, I used to go with my Kenyan passport, no visa, walk through, and the first thing the person on the counter would say, oh, you're from Kenya. We love Kenya. We holiday there all the time. Beautiful country, beautiful people. Today, because of the way we sold our passports through corruption, we have to have a visa to go to the UK. We have to have a visa to go almost everywhere in Europe. And when we arrive and the passport is seen, the first thing that comes into people's mind, she's coming from the very corrupt country. And it's a shame. It's not something to be proud of. And it's something that I hope we can change. I'm a social entrepreneur, and I'm starting an initiative with my team in the office of the Woman Rep to start uniting Kenyans against poverty. I tried to do it when I finished the Adopt a Life project. I came up with a concept called Driving Kenya, 1 in a Million, Kenyans for Kenyans. Unfortunately, the government at that time thought I was trying to raise money for the Right Honorable Raila Odinga because I was in ODM, so they didn't register it. Today, I'm still on that journey to unite 1 million Kenyans against poverty as an investment so that we can actually do away with slums. Nobody deserves to live in the undignified manner that people live in the informal settlement. The women that live there with children are your maids, your drivers, your askari. You know, they work for us. We need to give them a better home. While the government is going to do its part in housing, in universal health, in manufacturing, right, in infrastructure, we as citizens can take charge in ensuring that every woman that lives in the informal settlement gets a beautiful house that she can call her home after paying rent over a period of time. So the legacy of Adopt a Light, I want to leave it behind and look forward and create another legacy. And this time, I'm not going to do it alone. All of you in this room and everyone that you know is going to be part and parcel of the dream to rid Kenya of slums. I want to thank you very much for listening to me. God bless you all, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. You will receive your award of honor, subtle little honor, from Honorable Beatrice Salachi. Thank you. Congratulations, Mama County. Speaker, there's more for her as well. Thank you. Congratulations. Very good. Thank you. Now, as Mama County is going to the photo banner to have a photo, I would want our team to arrange the cake, and I would want to invite Madam Speaker, Mama County, Madam Boss, our honorable guests and our leads, any other mother, children, to please come forward. Then we cut the cake together. Please come on, please. Can we have, I want mothers, lovers of mothers, supporters of mothers, and all of us who feel, yes, we celebrate mothers, to please come forward. Good. Can we have Madam Adije with the knives? Help us. Give me the knives. The bigger knives, where are they? Where are the knives? Thank you. We even have fathers in the house celebrating Karibuni Sana. It's a momentous occasion. Like we said, it's the 4th edition of Mothers Honors Awards, hosted by Light International School, and we celebrate our mothers and we love. Guys, I don't know, are these guys blocking you? Should I tell them? Or I tell them politely, these guys want to see. Okay, can we also give space to the others as well? Wow, Mama Oliet has said that she will pray for the cake. Mama Oliet Asante, thank you very much.
May God bless this cake before we take it to the end of state town. Amen.
Now, the moment has come. The closure of this evening. Guys, wait. I want to have my people ready, set. I will tell you. And I will count. At the count of 3, we will all say, Happy Mother's Day, right? At the count of 3, my people, when we go 3. Guys, we will count together, right? Everyone in the audience, we will count together. Tuko tayari? Okay. 1. Guys, we are not counting together. Together means, guys, we will count pamoja together. Sawa? Okay, let's try. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, everyone. Very amazing. Congratulations, our chief guests. Congratulations, the children. As I mentioned, each and every from AC and FS. We will proceed with photo sessions. If you need, with any of our guests or yourselves, then we will give you the vouchers as we go down for a cocktail. Briefly, as we move because of time and the rains. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. We appreciate your presence here this afternoon and evening. Guys, the cake has been cut. Can we proceed? And the cake will follow us there. All proceed there.
Robert, up here.
If there's anybody, there's a mother who has lost her Sony phone by me, please hand it over to us. Can you have more lights as we proceed? Guys, let's use this exit as we go